Conceptually, this lesson on time value of money with subannual compounding is just a simple extension of the previous lesson where we looked at annual compounding. The only difference, as the name suggests, is that interest is being compounded more than once a year. The basic issue that a certain time period goes by, you compound interest, and you keep track of how many such periods happen, that's the same. But the formulas that we use for subannual compounding are a little bit more complicated. I'll talk about a few examples shortly, but what you need to understand is that you will see these formulas in class, you'll see them in your finance textbook, and you need to come up to speed with them. Some of the examples that you'll be encountering that have that subannual compounding would be situations like the student loans you're likely taking to go to school, where the interest and the payments occur on a monthly basis, not on an annual basis. The same would be true for home mortgages. And in a related way, when companies or governments are raising money, they typically issue bonds, which we'll be looking at in a subsequent lesson, and that compounding generally happens on a 6-month basis. So this isn't just a pure mathematical issue. This is something of great practical significance, and it's important to take the intuition that we take out of the annual compounding situation, which seems the most natural, and bring it down to the time period where the interest is actually compounded in real situations. Fortunately, even though the formulas are more complicated, the Excel tools that you'll be using generally outside of class, and similarly with the financial calculators, they help you make that transition from annual compounding to subannual compounding without much difficulty at all. You'll be using the same functions, and the only thing you need to do is put in an additional parameter which indicates to the tool, whether it's the spreadsheet or the financial calculator, what is the basis for the compounding, how many periods per year are there, and then that lets the tool use the same approach that you've used with annual compounding and get you the exact right answer. So absorb the formulas and their additional complexity, but recognize that when you're doing the work, you'll be able to come back to tools that solve the problems in almost the exact same way. A final point would be, throughout these sequence of lessons, I emphasize Excel over financial calculators for 2 reasons. One, Excel use is pervasive across the curriculum, and the experience you get in using Excel for finance will help you as you use Excel for other topics. And the other is that there are so many different models of financial calculators that I can't pick any single one to standardize on. And once you get the hang of roughly what the issue is, if you are choosing to use a financial calculator, you can use its own instruction manual to get there. So we focus on Excel, and that's what you'll see the most of in this lesson.